intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly, I am your host. Thank you very much for joining us. I was just quickly talking with producer Andrew beforehand, saying how much I love our intro music. So I'm going to do something a little bit odd this time around. I'm going to give a big shout out to Stephen Cox. Thank you very much for providing us with the music for that. It's a great track. Now, producer Andrew, that's a beat, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It is a beat.
Yes.
And that was one of many that we got offered from Steve, yeah?
So they came out of the OBC archives, essentially. They were just in our instrumental folder, and we were looking for music that would be royalty-free and
yes.
da-da-da-da, and so we found one, and I hit up Steve, and he kindly said, yeah, use it, go hard.
Yeah, so. Nice. So, yeah, thanks, Steve. Big shout-out, bro. Absolutely mint. Yeah, man, great week. Man, we've had some sunshine. Yes! It has been glorious. Today is Thursday the 9th of November that we're filming this, and this will be coming out in 2 weeks' time, so that'll be the 23rd. Man, really, really cool. This is interesting. I'm going to flick to my camera now. Shaelagh Jones. This was a really cool podcast. It was so much laughter, a lot of fun. Even off camera as well. The jokes just flew thick and fast, and it was great. Super cool, and she had some amazing artwork that she brought in with her as well. So we've got 3 pieces, and we kind of had them at different stages as well. One is in the rapid fire, so if you haven't watched the rapid fire, highly recommend you go checking it out. It's a Facebook and Instagram exclusive, so well worth it. I got a lot out of that. Yeah, I did. I got tons. You know what? It was really interesting. And no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to leave it, and I'll talk about it at the end. So I'm going to shut up and let's sit down and have a conversation with Shaelagh Jones. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Shaelagh.
Yes,
Shaelagh Jones.
That's excellent because nobody gets it first time. So
I was just like, I think it's Shaelagh. It's not Shayla.
No.
That's the stripper name.
Yeah.
The stripper way of spelling it. You're Irish?
Yes, it is Irish origin. But I don't actually think there's a Shaelagh that lives in Ireland.
Okay.
I think it's a Shaelagh or a Shaelagh, which is the lucky stick.
Okay. Well, at least it's not Shanae.
Shanae,
That's
yes.
ghetto fabulous.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shaelagh Jones, thank you very much for joining us on the Northland Artist Conversation. So, by the way, we were actually recording all of that.
I know you did
I know. I clapped, and then it was like, shit, we're starting now. I saw you. You were like, oh shit, we've clapped. We're starting.
We're
rolling. Right. So, thank you very much for coming in. We met at the Reyburn House gallery calendar competition. Is that right?
That's true. Yep.
That's true. And you placed, didn't you?
I did. I got a couple of placings.
I know.
Yeah, so I was quite surprised. So
Do you remember what placings you got?
I got 9th.
Yes.
That is a thing, apparently.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, if there's 12...
That's right.
You know, 9th deserves something.
Yeah, 12.
It's better than a handshake.
Yeah.
You got a little bit.
And then I got 3rd.
Wee. Curious, do you remember what the prizes were?
Well, I remember what mine was because I went and spent it all.
Yeah, what did you get for the prizes?
Pretty
Yours?
good, actually. I think
get?
it was $100.
Was that for 9th or 3rd?
3rd.
3rd.
No. And then it was like $100 for Gordon Harris.
Yes.
I took a voucher.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And I think I got $50 for the 9th one or something. So
no, yeah, you did quite well for yourself.
So yeah, I thought $150 was great, and I had a good time spending it. Didn't go far, but
no, I don't imagine art supplies go very far.
No, not when you've got like little tubes that are worth $40.
Yeah, $150 on art supplies would be like $150 on technology.
Yeah.
Not going to go far at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a really cool night. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, good.
I remember turning up on the day and saying to Rebecca, "Hey, what's the plan?" She goes, "I don't know."
Yeah, that's right.
You're just going to talk and do shit. All right, cool.
She's pretty relaxed, is Rebecca.
She is.
Yeah.
Wendy had to write down the winners' names for me, so I was like, oh, yeah, cool. And these are the sponsors. Okay, yeah, I'll just remember to plug them. But yeah, it was a great night, a lot of fun. Yeah, I actually thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's actually something that really vibes up the artists that subscribe to Reyburn House.
Yeah.
They get all excited about it every year.
And to me, it seems like there's more entrants kind of every year as it gets a bit bigger.
Yeah, yes it is. I think people get a little bit more confident when they see what's going down.
Well, I imagine after this year as well, possibly a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, we've had some interesting years where we've had to get different people to judge.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And it's always been a bit problematic trying to get these people or find these people.
Yeah.
Because Reyburn House is kind of like, it's not high-end art.
No,
so it's coming in at an amateur sort of level for people who are just starting
prosumer.
or merging.
Prosumer.
Yeah.
Amateurs are... I'm amateur. Yeah. I couldn't draw that to save myself. Look, if you...
It's all relative.
Well, it is. If you want me to draw the side of a car...
I've heard this story.
Yes. And if that car is Kit from Knight Rider...
That's right, yeah.
I'm your man.
Yeah.
But this stuff I'm terrible at.
Yeah, well, everybody's different. But
we are.
So getting people to judge is quite difficult because they're coming from different mindsets.
Yeah.
So we've had people that are used to doing fine art come and judge us and get a little bit discouraged, because they're thinking at a higher level.
Yeah. They're thinking like Auckland professional art gallery type stuff.
Maybe. So this year it was People's Choice.
Which is a great way to do it.
It is a great way. But I think if you're slightly offbeat, people are a little reluctant because they will judge something that they know. Say if it's a scene, they know that McLeod's Bay looks like that.
Yeah, sure.
And so if the picture looks like that, they're a great drawer or they're a great painter. And trying to get that little bit of abstract sort of feel going is a little bit harder for other people.
I guess it would also be, you could also skew it in a way where, like if you're on Facebook and you got like, I know people that have got like 1,000 friends on Facebook. I don't know if they have 1,000 friends in real life, but on Facebook it says you've got 1,000 friends. All you need to do is say, hey, I've entered into a competition, and then suddenly if you get even if you get like 200 of your mates go in and pick your drawings, it kind of skews it, really, doesn't it?
It can do, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's not. We're not talking like election results. It's a calendar.
Yeah, and people have to physically write something on a piece of paper. So electronically, it's not really going to work.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah.
No. So how many pieces did you have entered this year? Was it just the 2?
I think there was about 4.
That you put through?
Yeah.
Nice.
On that night, yeah.
And how many years have you competed in?
I think this is 3rd year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long has it been going for?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure because I'm just kind of a relatively new member to Reyburn House, but Reyburn House has been on the radar for years and years and years and years. Yeah. So. Yeah,
because I was just wondering if maybe they put anything out through COVID. Because that would have been quite challenging.
Yeah.
Might have been the year they didn't.
Gee, it seems so long ago now. Can't remember.
I know. One of someone I knew got COVID, and I was like, "Oh, that's still a thing."
Yeah, that's still a thing, exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, "Ah, shit." Okay.
Yeah, no, believe me, it is a thing.
Yeah. One of my friends has had COVID 4 times.
Yeah.
I was just like, "You poor thing."
Yeah, my brother-in-law is a respiratory specialist.
Oh, yes.
So he was at the coalface when all of this.
Yeah, where it all went down.
Yeah, so he saw it firsthand. And he's in Manukau, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so...
Wow.
So we still get reminded... Although he's really, really good, we kind of... Every time we look at him, we know, you've got some patient... it's still around.
Yeah.
You're dealing with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it was a lifetime ago, really.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, not all bad. I mean, I did an art course through that time, and
did you?
I happened to sign up for it before it all happened.
Yeah.
So it took a year out of COVID.
Yeah, wow.
So that was great.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, being able to just stay at home.
Yeah.
And focus on the course.
And really, really focus, because all my kids are gone, and just me and hubby at home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
No one running around going, Mum!
No.
Mum, I'm bored!
Leaving me to it.
Yeah, nice.
In the garage. Yeah.
Even better.
Mm.
You're like, honey, we need to social distance. I'm going to the garage for 8 hours.
Truly, I mean, that course focused me for literally 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day.
Wow. What was your output like?
It was all about learning, so a lot of stuff was all experimental.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, sort of learned a few things, my art just went up the next level.
Well, I was going to say went to the next level,
Yeah, which is kind of what you would need, don't you?
Yeah.
You get to a point where you're sort of just plateauing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you need that step up.
Yeah, how do you take that jump? Because you don't want to hit the glass ceiling. You kind of want to smash through it and just keep going upwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we have a beautiful yellow picture of flowers.
Zinnias, actually.
Oh, they're what now?
They're zinnias.
Zinnias.
Yeah.
Are they a type of flower?
They are indeed.
Okay, so we have a picture of flowers. I suck at horticulture. Against our backdrop. So if you're watching this on the video, this is actually going to stand out very, very well. Have a strong contrast.
Good against that.
It does. It really pops. Looking at how recent is this painting?
That was done. What are we in?
November 23.
Yeah, I think start of this year.
Oh, wow. So it's really recent then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean way back.
Mm-hmm.
Way back. What inspired you to be creative? Because, I mean, some people don't, what they're doing now, they don't always do. They may have started something else.
Yeah.
What did you sort of first do? What did you first gravitate towards? Or were you picking up the brush going, fuck it, I want to be an artist?
Yeah. Yes, probably yes.
Really?
I think so, because my whole entire family, including my distant relatives,
right,
on my mother's side, all dabble. So I was brought up with people painting and creating.
Yeah.
I was brought up on a farm, so in remote Kaingaroa, which is way up north.
That's
way up north.
Way up
north, just a little
yeah.
bit south of Kaitaia.
Yeah, wow.
On the east coast.
Yeah.
And basically didn't have any money, so all Christmas presents were created.
Yes, made from scratch.
Yeah, everything made from scratch.
Yeah.
And totally into plants from a very early age. I even had my own landscape design section of my garden, my mother's garden, that I would redesign, every month.
Yeah.
And I was only little.
Yeah.
Sort of like 7 or 8.
Oh, wow. So you're really,
really young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's interesting. I think when you're around other creative family members, you do have more of a tendency to gravitate towards that. I mean, sure, you do get those kids where it's like, mum and dad are artists, so I became a lawyer. It's just so diametrically opposed. But, what you do find is that with creativity especially, you'll have people that'll have, whose family members will have done it, and they may do it up until a certain point where they go, well, life now says that I need to get a job. And then you get a job, but then ultimately, from the 70 podcasts we've done.
Okay.
I would say that people always end up back at the art.
Yeah.
If they leave it and they come back, they will traditionally revisit it.
Sure will. Yeah. It's kind of like it's in you. You've got to get it out.
Yeah, you do. And even when you're not getting it out, it's essentially just dormant. You don't forget it. It's very much like riding a bike.
Yeah.
So for you, growing up in the household where everyone's artistic, you've got
my mother, my father
side.
is
A farmer?
Farmer.
Right.
Not artistic.
Yeah, not artistic.
Yeah.
Great with shit.
Yeah, great. Pretty much made his money with it.
And you've got all this time and you're able to do all these sorts of things and you're able to create and mum's side of the family is very nurturing. When you were schooling, did you sort of find that you kept that as well, or were you homeschooled?
No, I went to the best little primary school ever, which was Kaingaroa.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure. I think yours will be Te Hapara School.
I think primary years are most people's favourite years.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
if all going well.
Yeah, well, I got the strap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shut up, producer Andrew. Don't laugh at me. Yeah, let's just say that primary school is...
It's the freest you'll ever be.
It is. I didn't have to worry about... Oh, no, wait. I did get bullied.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, carry on. So you've got the best primary school in the world.
So the best primary school in the world, run by a husband and wife
Yep.
team way back in the day, in the 70s. That's how old I am. But they, part of the curriculum was really to nurture art and craft. That stage. And so we had, they were painters.
Yeah. So you're getting it from home and at school, really?
At
That's
school.
like
and
both
school
barrels.
was just like every day. It was just like, it wasn't even a subject.
Yeah.
It was just incorporated into everything.
Yeah.
And it was, a whole week once a year would be devoted to art and craft. And then they would get in the locals, and down our valley we had all sorts of arty crafty people.
Yeah.
Because back in the day it was sort of hippie time, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
happy hippie time.
Yeah, it was happy time. So the valley had potters and people who dealt with glass and leather and
pots and
lots of pots.
Yeah. Potters and pots.
Yes, there was quite a lot of that going on. So the whole place was you could find it just down the road.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and you know what, I mean, I'm 48, and I remember the times where, I'd get home from school and then I'd bugger off, and I knew it was dinner time when the lights came on.
Yep.
And it was a different time.
Yep.
We were a lot freer.
Yeah, totally. Those were great days. I wish my kids had my kids did have a pretty similar upbringing, but I had a horse, and 1,000 acres of my father's property and the neighbours, which would just say you can go and ride on my property as long as you shut the gate. So
1,000 acres, that's a lot.
So from 4:00 in the afternoon till it was black.
Yeah.
It was just out there riding and doing. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we look back on it now and go, it was so freeing.
Yeah.
If you fell off that horse, though, in the middle of nowhere,
I know.
it wouldn't be as good.
Not as good.
Not as good. It's like, where the hell have you been? Well, I broke my arm.
Yeah.
Fell off my horse.
Got concussion.
Yeah.
Got rolled on.
Yeah. Horse is dead.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We have dog food.
I don't think they were worried.
No,
they were busy. My parents were busy milking cows and...
Yeah, so that up at like 4:30 type thing for the first milk and then
the second one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, having 1,000 acres that'd be like heaven.
It was heaven, absolute heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just rode bareback and thought I was an Indian.
Right.
That was me and my thoughts.
That's it. Yeah, you and Pocahontas.
Yeah, exactly.
So, having such a freeing... having had such a freeing childhood and where, as you said, primary school years are the best years, when did the, sort of reality kind of kick in for you? Where it was like, oh, shit, schooling isn't always like this.
I know. Kind of downhill from intermediate, really.
Right, okay. Because there wouldn't have been an intermediate where you were. Did you have to... Or was there?
You had to go to Kaitaia.
You actually had to go to Kaitaia.
Karaia, as they say, if you come from
Karaia?
Karaia, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're all great schools, but the fun part of it kind of didn't really work.
Yeah.
And then art became just a sideline. There were more important subjects to
Yeah, like maths. And English. Yeah, because it's not like you can go... 3 + 7 = flower.
Yeah, that's right. There was a certain amount of responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but then college was, when you sort of think of college, that wasn't proper art classes in college. But unfortunately, just not the best classes,
Well,
haven't we heard that story before?
Yeah, it's funny, the arts, right?
Sort of on the sideline, kind of. It's there on paper, but not really nurtured.
No, I mean, I went to an all-boys school, and they were focused on rugby.
Yes.
And rugby, with cricket thrown in there as a third. And I did drama.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious, because the principal loved drama, but the vice principal and everyone else underneath him was all about rugby. But when we went to the Sheelagh Wynne Shakespeare Festival, the first ever one they had in Wellington, we got on the front page of the Dominion Post. And then suddenly...
You were all about it.
Suddenly drama was cool at school.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I saw you guys on the paper. Oh, thanks. The first 15 haven't been on the paper? Oh, such a shame. I know, we were bastards like that. But when you hit high school and suddenly you've got you get to the, we can say this, the 5th, 6th and 7th form, not year...
9, 10, 11.
Thank you. 12. Yeah, I still can't work it out.
Year 13.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And you've got to pick, like, calculus or algebra or, the sciences, biology, chemistry, physics. Art's kind of one of it's like the red-headed stepchild in the corner.
Yes. It's such a shame.
It is.
I mean, it can be nurtured. I mean, it's such a... Well, that creative thing just leads to so many other jobs. Yeah. It's not just about this. It's about all sorts of things. So
yeah, because, I mean, a lot of this stuff's transferable, right?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, if you wanted to look at it from a practical perspective, you could be a painter.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, house painting is fundamentally quite different, but it's still working with paints, right?
Yeah, colour.
Yeah. Exactly, and your understanding of colour and how it works with light and stuff like that. After high school, kind of, where did you find yourself? Were you like, I'm going to go to college and do art, or it's like, shit, I got to get a job? Yeah,
I was studious. At school, I had to work hard.
Yeah.
So I got my UE back in the day.
UE.
But then I did 7th form, and I just ran out of steam. So,
really?
Yeah, I ran out of steam. I'd had enough. So I went and got my first job down here in Whangarei.
Oh, so you moved?
Yeah, I moved down here.
Yeah.
So I studied horticulture for 5 years and worked in nursery. But
that would make sense, right? Because you've got gardens at Mum's house.
Yeah, gardens at everywhere. I mean, I was just a kid that collected flowers all my life.
Plants and stuff.
Plants and flowers and go for a bush.
Producer Andrew's partner.
Oh, good.
She's a good lady.
Yeah.
She collects plants.
Go for a bush walk, and all you'd see was the shapes of the leaves and, totally wired. So that made sense. And then... what happened after that? I decided I needed an OE.
Right.
Well, I'd been thinking about it for a very, very long time.
Okay.
Like most people.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah. So the big OE happened.
And you went to...
I took a trip from Kathmandu.
Oh, wow.
Overland on a army truck.
Wasn't expecting that.
No.
Okay. On an army truck, like one of the big Unimog type things. Wow.
An orange one, so they knew that, it wasn't
civilians,
in service.
Please don't bomb us.
Yeah. All the way to Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have been a rough ride. But what a fun ride.
Oh my gosh. It was rough.
Yeah, not a lot of cushioning.
No. No. My hair basically was so brittle that I could just break it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How long did that trip take?
I think that was 3 months.
3 months from Kathmandu to Egypt. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was a long time because we went through all the countries, including Iran. And
right.
Places that are like that. Yeah.
Would that have been during the Iran-Iraq conflict?
No.
Okay, so
it's just before that, in the
right.
90s, 1990.
Like the very early 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we must, well...
Possibly just missed it.
Possibly, but arriving in Kathmandu actually was a curfew where they had big riots about the monarchy, and they wanted to get rid of the monarchy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of army people around at that stage.
Yeah.
And my whole OE basically was fraught with war every now and again.
One of the organisations that proudly supports the Northland Artists Conversation is Creative Northland. I'm going to take just a moment to talk to you guys about it. Creative Northland have been absolutely vital in helping this project get off the ground through its infancy and all the way through to where we are now. We couldn't have done what we've done without their assistance. What we suggest is that if you're a creative person and you haven't heard of Creative Northland, we highly recommend that you reach out to them. Creative Northland, simply do a Google search. They're the top result. These guys are wonderful. They're all creatives in their own way, and they're all very, very well respected throughout the industry that they work in. They're very hardworking, absolutely committed and dedicated to helping the creative people throughout Northland, whether it be through simple things like starting up a project, all the way through to putting on like an exhibition, for example, all the way through to working out how they can start turning what they do into a business. It's all free advice. They give really, really good guidelines and helpful assistance to make sure that you, as a creative, are able to get the most out of what you do. Creative Northland, highly recommend them. Check them out. So you having done the horticulture stuff, and with your background doing your own little themed gardens at Mum's and going out in the countryside, before, when you were answering your question, I was thinking to myself, had you ever thought of becoming like they're called dock rangers now, but I don't know what they were called back then. Because that to me sort of seems something like that could have been a path that you could have done and enjoyed, because you're out in nature, you're doing stuff.
That just wasn't on my radar. I'm not even sure. I'm sure there were dock rangers back then. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I went to the landscape design side.
Right. Quite technical.
Yeah. So I did technical, the technical drawings for, and how many plants you need and where to put them, and so I had my own business for I did that for about 10 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, and you're still doing art over this period of time, or has that sort of dropped away a little bit?
That kind of took my artistic flair, and energy, because I was responsible for somebody's backyard and transforming it.
Right.
So the plants became the paint, and their backyards became, the canvas.
Mm.
And I was in Wellington at that stage.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I did it. I started learning how to do the landscape design in Auckland, and then moved to Wellington.
Yeah.
And of course, as you can imagine, the terrain is vertical.
Yeah.
And windy.
Like hell.
Yeah, all over the place. So you had to be really imaginative with how you're going to get stuff there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that and I imagine that it would have needed to have been quite technical as well. Did you need to have any like this? I asked this question not wanting to sound dumb, though I fear I may come off as dumb. I mean, sometimes I do. I am dumb, but did you need any... For Wellington especially, because of its very hilly terrain, did you need to have any sort of geology skills to be able to go, well, I can't whip this part of a hill out because it's got this type of soil and it's the wrong, and I can only go X deep, I can't go like 10 feet in or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you had to know all that sort of stuff.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you got to know all the different areas of Wellington quite well.
Yeah.
And there were little microcosms which you could get away with and grow different stuff and do different things with. Yeah, but I mean those gardens were some of those gardens were like $60,000 to build
for a garden.
For a garden.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean we're talking access and real hard.
Yeah.
A lot of building to get places level, or
right.
Things. A lot of structure.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
My shock, and then my next question was going to be, what is a 60 grand garden? Because that's a hell of a garden.
It is a lot of money, isn't it?
It is.
And it was a wee while ago.
It is.
Yeah.
But
people
in the early 2000s?
People were willing. Yeah, people were willing to pay for it and wanted it to go with their beautiful Eastbourne house or.
Oh right.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few.
There's a
few nice Kandala.
Yeah. That was the one I was searching for as well. Kandala.
Yeah.
It's very Australian.
Yeah. So, got to go have a garden match with the house.
You do, and if you're going to put $1 million property on there, $60,000 is bugger all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you even though you were taking your creative expression and you were you'd gone from putting it on canvas to putting it on physical dirt and actually having a physical representation, were you still painting at all, or had it really just gone, nah, I just need to focus on this?
Yeah, I just dabbled, but
right.
Then I moved to Paris and the world changed. So
that'll happen, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, I was expecting you to go move to Palmy, and things change. It's like, well, Wellington to Palmy, I get. No, I went from Wellington to Paris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Shit'll change.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
So you open your door every day in that place, and there's just art, just everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so I have questions.
Yeah.
Why?
My husband got a job there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time for a sea change, and that came up.
I mean, there's a job transfer, and then there's a hemisphere transfer, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, it was either that or Dargaville, and at the time, because we wanted a change, Dargaville was looking good.
Wow.
I know.
I'll be honest. And to our listeners and viewers, I'm sure you will agree. We have two hands and we have a choice. We have Dargaville in one and Paris in the other.
Which one will that be?
I can only guess as to which one most people will pick.
We'll hold a poll.
Yeah.
And we'll let you all vote.
Exactly.
Even though we know the results.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you have kids with you at this point?
I was 7 months pregnant.
With the first?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had Aria over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long did you live in Paris for?
5 years.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do all the touristy things?
Of course.
And
several thousand times over.
Right, okay. I was going to say, did they get boring after a while? Do you then go, wow, we've fucking seen the Eiffel Tower 67 times?
No, actually, where we lived was at one end of the Eiffel Tower. So my kids grew up in the playground. I was there twice a day with the Eiffel Tower just there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty idyllic.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So that was
crazy.
it was their playground.
I mean, after a while, would it have just kind of become, it's the Eiffel Tower? Because initially it would have been like, oh my God, it's the Eiffel Tower! And then does it become, well, it's a tall thing?
No.
Or do you still keep that sense of wonder the whole time?
Never got used to it.
Far out.
Just pinch myself every day.
Yeah, see, I thought Dargaville would be the better way to go.
Bailey's.
Yeah.
I hear the Northern Whitehall is beautiful this time of year.
Stunning.
Funnily enough, I see that twice a week.
Yeah.
Producer Andrew, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so then was it another job transfer back to New Zealand, or did we continue to our globe-trotting ways around the world?
Yes, we did quite a few of that.
Yeah.
And I saw as many, like the Louvre, I could go there.
Oh, yeah. The Louvre.
Regularly. So I spent a lot of time there, and with kids, dragging them around. It was the only way I could do it.
Yeah.
And, I looked at paintings. I looked at a lot of painters, and and I just couldn't get enough.
Did it inspire you to pick up the brush again?
Totally.
Okay.
So I started painting there.
Brilliant.
Just tutuing, as they say.
Yeah. Having a tutu.
Yep. And somebody there, one of our good friends, said, I showed him just some sketches or something I'd done, and he said, you should become an artist. And I went,
funny you should say that.
Store that away.
Yeah. That's incredible, though.
Yeah. So I didn't really take it that seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But because you've got two small children and,
We've got 2 kids at this point now.
I've got 2.
2 under 5s.
Yeah. And 5 stories up, with you.
Yeah.
Dragging them up and down all the time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care. Mum wants to go see the Mona Lisa again.
Yeah.
Mum! Yeah. Shut up. Appreciate art.
They were amazing. I mean, they didn't know any different. Like, they played in the Rodin Gardens and they...
Oh, stop it.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, they played there just about once a month.
Wow. So, okay. We're going to jump forward a little bit. Are they artists? Or are they creative?
Yeah, they are creative.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they better be after all that inspiration.
You lived in Paris for 5 years, you better be fucking drawing. So after Paddy, where did you kind of move to next?
Yeah, so then the kids were ready for school, and they're already been through, they call them matinale there, so you start at 4.
Oh, okay.
And it's quite a strict schooling sort of thing there, and it is very strict. And when we looked at their schooling and what we'd been used to, there was just, I don't know if I want to do this to my kids, because if you wanted to learn something, how like say an instrument,
yes,
you'd have to study the instrument for 2 years before you actually played it.
What?
Yeah, or if you'd if you're painting, it's all the theory for a year or 2 before you actually picked up your brush.
No.
So it just
boring.
Yeah, it was so theoretical. So
that's a country that's trapped inside its own head.
Yeah, I mean
it's filled with its own self-importance. Don't get me started.
It did give me, I can't complain, it gave me 5 fantastic years. So,
yeah.
So I'm not complaining about that.
So where did you obviously made a decision that the schooling system there was not right.
Not right for us,
yeah.
No.
So where did we head to
So
next?
we came back.
Back to New Zealand.
And
then you took up the Dargaville job.
Well, no. Close.
Whangarei.
No, we went to my husband's parents' house, which is in Russell.
Oh, lovely.
In the Bay of Islands.
Yes.
So
gorgeous.
we were just there for 3 months, just checking in, see what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But 9 years rolled by and we're still there.
9 years?
9 years rolled by.
From 3 months?
Yeah.
To 9 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You'd have seen a lot of change in that 9 years as well.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. And they had the best, they were brought up like we were brought up as kids.
Right, yeah.
They would disappear and nobody would worry. Like, we were somebody.
Yeah. Just hanging out with Tom.
They all know how to swim now, so
down
that's
the road.
good.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a key criteria for Kiwi kids, isn't it?
Yeah, key criteria.
Yeah. With creeks and rivers and streams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, beaches too. And then you're back in New Zealand. You're in Russell for 9 years. Are you diving back into the world of art?
Yeah, and that's when it started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did my first painting there, and went, oh yeah. And I had an art therapist that I was good friends with, and she says, oh, you got a level of something going on.
You don't suck.
No, you don't entirely useless.
Yeah. You put out some good work. It's not shit.
Yeah, give yourself a go. So that's
good old Kiwi backhanded compliments.
Yeah, I know. If you're in America, like that's where my son is. He's there on a scholarship for soccer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
They would be saying they just just vibe you up like you're fantastic, you're amazing, you can really do this. But us Kiwis don't do that.
No, we do it. I think we do it to a certain extent.
You just got to learn how they say it.
Yeah,
don't you?
Yeah. I don't know. My sister lives in Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not too far from Memphis.
No.
8 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty close. But, they're just a different beast over there.
I know, we've just come back from seeing them, so America's pretty fresh, as to
nice.
how it all operates.
So you're doing your landscaping business, and then the art comes back in, move back to New Zealand, and then we kind of make that transition to full-time artist, or part-time artist, part-time something else?
I was pretty much a full-time school volunteer at that stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Baking the shortbread and...
Yeah, and doing all that, and running an organic garden for the school.
Right.
So that was we did that in the pool area. We had a swimming pool and big fruit trees and all the rest of it. Yeah,
lovely.
It was lovely. It's still there. It's really good. So I was involved with that, and then the courses would come to Russell. Be quite surprising what you'd find in Russell, and I'd just take up any opportunity I could find.
Yeah, nice.
And did that, and then the kids needed schooling at a high school level.
Is there a high school in Russell?
No.
You've got a...
At that stage,
Across the
you
ferry?
could go to Kerikeri, but it will be by ballot.
Oh, yes. Yeah, of course.
And then there was the Bay of Islands.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow. So which one did they go to?
So because my son was heavily into soccer, and
Kerikeri?
we was always on the road, we decided to move to Whangarei.
Oh, right. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And how long have you been in Whangarei for now?
Next year will be 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's nice. And you're sort of established now as one of the bigger artists of the Whangarei area, Northland area? What would you say?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No?
I think people are finding me and discovering me.
Right.
But I'm certainly...
Not...
No.
Maybe here? Not here, but maybe here?
I think people... I always think that I'm down there, of course, coming up. But, and I think that's fair enough. There's been a lot of artists that have been here for a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can't really claim to be sort of at their level or their experience.
Yeah,
or,
experiences.
Yeah, at their experience.
Yeah.
You've got to be sort of... it takes a while for people to know your work, and you've got to learn the skill, and then you've got to put it out there, and it's a long haul.
It's a long process, which leads me, and it's a beautiful segue, to you obviously had your pieces in the Reyburn House art calendar. Do you have anything coming up? Are you putting together an exhibition? Is there something coming down the line?
Yes, there's an exhibition coming up, but it'll be in the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one will be towards the end of next year, which is a while away, and another one is probably mid next year.
So we've got one for sort of June, July,
or maybe a bit before. Yeah.
May, June.
Yeah, maybe.
And then one
in September.
Like September.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite a way away.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's. I've always found exhibitions interesting because, you essentially, are you taking all of your work and then going, here's the theme for the exhibition, this one works, this one doesn't, this one undecided, and then you kind of pick it, and then you're going, shit, I've only got half, I need to feverishly
get cracking.
Yeah, get my A into G.
Yeah, I mean, there's
maybe
always...
another COVID so you can sit 8 hours in the garage
and just do it.
Yes.
But you do that anyway if you know you've got a deadline. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with the deadline. You've got a section of work that's looking good, and then you go, oh man, I've run out a bit of steam.
Yeah, right.
So you've just got to get through that and get to your next lot.
Are you? We've had quite a few painters on, and it's been great talking with them. Do you find yourself a person that has like multiple projects on the go at different stages, or are you kind of like I'm a one and done?
No, I will have a wall of nails on my garage wall, and I'll have about 4 or 5 canvases.
Right. Okay.
Going in,
kind of at different.
And they're all there, and they're all at different stages.
Right.
Yeah.
And do they sort of? It's funny because as someone who, I mean, I've written songs, and with music, 9 times out of 10 you'll kind of work a song as much as you can. And if it's going to work, great, you can kind of get that last 10%. If it's not, you junk it and start something else.
Yeah.
But with art, do you sort of find that say you've got, how many works have you got on the go at the moment, for example?
So I've got four on the wall.
4 on the wall.
Yep.
Okay. Out of those 4, and they're obviously at different stages, right? Do you sort of walk in and go, man, I'm feeling painting number 3 today, or number 1's going to get my attention, or, ooh, I can do 2 and 4, because I'm feeling the vibes for both, or, you know what, I've got to start a 5th painting because I ain't feeling any of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the night before, you're probably lying in bed thinking about, oh, yeah, that's what I could do with that one. Or you've gone for a walk in the morning and go, oh, yeah, that's the answer to that problem.
Right, yeah.
So, you've got to get away from it. If you sit in that studio for too long, you can't address any problems.
You kind of lose objectivity, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You've got to get away.
Okay.
Yeah. So you solve all your problems by just
leaving.
Shutting the door.
Yes. And abandoning all hope.
Yeah. Yes. Like this will never be any good.
Like it's never going to work. Okay.
And they do. Sometimes they never work. Like I've tried and they've just never worked. So you just get out your gesso and...
You what?
Just get out the gesso.
What is the gesso?
The gesso is the white undercoating paint that you prepare your canvases with.
No shit. And you just literally go, that's it, I'm done.
Something like that, and you go, that really annoys me. I've worked on it. I can't fit it.
Yeah.
You'll just go, well, it's going to be whited over, but I like that piece, maybe in the far corner.
Oh, so I'll
keep it.
White around it.
Yeah, and it might be useful or it might not be.
You might end up whiting over it as well.
Yeah.
So essentially you're like twinking the whole thing, aren't you?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
That's because when I start, there isn't a picture in my head. That's the problem.
Really?
No.
So you have no sort of like conceptual idea?
There is a conceptual idea, but it will never look like I want to draw that.
Right.
It has to develop from some abstract splashing paint.
Yeah.
It just looks like a smeared mess when you start.
Like a Jackson Pollock?
It could do.
Okay.
It could possibly do. I have tried that.
You said smearing. That was the only thing I could think of. Jackson, just going to throw shit at canvas.
Yeah.
They're going to pull my cigarettes out on this one.
That's right. You've got to look for the cigarette butts and the bare tops, that get stuck in the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So out of the 4 you're working on at the moment, do you think you're going to complete all 4 or there?
Yeah, the aim is that they will be completed.
Okay, and they're going to go into the May-June exhibition?
Yeah. But I'm trying something different, so it's that transitional, like, oh my gosh, this is just not working, or this is working.
And the transition, is this kind of something that's sort of new for you, outside of the comfort zone?
Yeah, not because I like what I do, but it's just trying to stretch myself into a slightly different direction.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... You said it earlier, right, when you were talking about how you kind of studied for a year. You really need to push yourself to get through that glass ceiling, eh?
Yeah.
To the next level.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for now, really. I'm in that zone where I've got to find somebody to teach me how to do something or do a class or whatever, because I have never been to art school or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
So I've never been to art school.
Yeah.
So it's all self-taught. So I've got to find people that, I go, I can really get that, and they'll teach me something.
I imagine that would be quite... I mean, are there art classes in Whangarei? I would imagine that Quarry Arts Garden's got stuff,
there are
right?
art classes. I've done classes in Quarry Arts Garden. Yeah, we've done them there, and it's just whether or not like when I did the COVID, learning through COVID, I did it through a person that he was an abstract painter.
Okay.
And I don't even like his paintings.
Oh.
Yeah, but I knew that there was something about him that he was good at what he did.
Right.
Just because I didn't particularly like his paintings.
Yeah.
But I knew they were good paintings for some reason.
Right.
There's a real good quality there.
Yeah, so you were like, well, what you put out isn't what I would normally buy.
Yeah.
But I can see that there is talent and there's technique behind that. Right, okay.
Yeah. And he had a course. He was switched on with the online courses.
Oh, was he in quite early?
He's an American guy, so...
Yeah, they're pretty clued up.
They're so clued up.
They are. They're good like
Way
that.
ahead of it.
Yeah. The curve is steep with them.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's kind of going on?
There's been a bit of a dive in the old health in the last year.
Oh, really?
Last 2
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but it has been a bit hard. So working through that's been a bit hard. So I don't know if I'm going to come out of it, but we will keep going until there's something that's really strikes me to be.
Yeah.
This is where I want to grip hold of it and go for it. Yeah.
Going through health challenges, have you found that you've kind of lent more into the art as a way to kind of escape the reality of or severity of whatever it may be?
Yeah.
Or
it can be both.
Yeah, or I was going to say at the other side where you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I just want to wallow in self-pity for a bit.
Yeah.
And eat chocolate.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've had both.
Okay. Yeah. I could imagine that's quite tough. I had a friend who had cancer.
Right.
And, super lovely guy. He was into motorsports, but he was quite creative in terms of like motorsport design and stuff like that, and he got stage 4 out of nowhere, and he was gone within 6 months. Yeah, it was absolutely devastating. But yeah, he kind of, it was so weird. He went from being this guy who was like, oh yeah, happy-go-lucky, to, fuck, how did this happen to me? And that lasted for like a week, maybe 2 at the most.
Wow.
And then he was like, you know what? I'm going to go out with a bang.
Wow.
And he just went out and lived his best life,
Good
as
for
the
him.
young kids say.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, it's health affects people in different ways, and especially when it starts taking over the mental health.
Yeah. There is quite a bit of a grieving process, geez, where did this come from? And I was just like, well,
you go, man, I didn't smoke, hardly drank, ate healthy my whole life. What the? Man, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
And then you got guys like Keith Richards that have snorted enough cocaine to keep Pablo Escobar in business.
And they're still going.
Yeah, and they're still alive, rocking out.
I know.
Yeah, so I don't know how it works. It's frustrating to say the least.
Yeah. But I think I need to get on the ball of finding that person that will help me out. And there's a guy called Idris Murphy who's an Australian. Yeah. And he's in his 70s. We might even be older. But he just has this ability he's a great teacher. Yeah. So, that's really what you've got to have that to definitely get it across. Yeah. So I did sign up for him. But mate, when you find out that, he's got like this huge long list of people. So you've got to find something else or do something. So,
I hope whatever you find is right for you. Yeah. And that's just going to be a journey of different things, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, I would be very honoured if you would come back when you're getting ready to do either one of your exhibitions, bring in some pieces like you've done today, and just talk about where you are versus where you are now.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you back on, Shaelagh. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be a good that would be a good exercise.
Yeah, definitely. We can kind of compare and contrast.
Yes, exactly.
Like where you were then or now. I'm going to get really time cop meta on this shit. Anyway, where you are as of November 2023 versus where you are in either May 24 or September 24. That would be great. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And sharing. This has been an absolute blast, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to doing rapid fire with you. But sincerely, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there you go, everyone. Shaelagh Jones, man, super cool. And it's funny at the end of each podcast as we're doing our outro, I always like to sort of reflect on something that I kind of got out of the podcast, and for me, this one was actually quite easy. Her time in Paris, and how spending time there really kind of reinvigorated her love and her passion of art, and just sort of stimulating her to once again get back into it after having, when she talks about landscaping, she talks about using the landscape, or is it landscaping, or like land design. She talks about that, and she says, the plants are the paint, and the earth or the grass or the space is the canvas. And that to me makes a lot of sense. But just actually putting brush to canvas, yeah. And she has some amazing pieces as well, and we're looking forward to seeing her exhibition. But yeah, that time in Paris kind of reinvigorating, re-stimulating that time with her, how she used to hang out at the Eiffel Tower like it was nothing, but still be in absolute awe by how amazing it is, and then spending time at the Louvre, which I'd love to visit those two places. So incredibly jealous. But what a really interesting life, and I look forward to, as I said, getting her back in, as she gets closer to one of her exhibitions next year, and just finding out where she's at, what's going on, where things are going. That'll be super cool. I'm going to flick to my camera now. Yeah, so for me, it's always good to hear, because we have a lot of different guests. We have, people that are kind of creative the whole way through their lives. We have people that will be creative, and then they'll kind of step out of it to do a job or a career, and then they'll find it later on, again, or they'll rediscover it. But what a place to rediscover your love of being a creative person in Paris. At least it wasn't Dargaville. And I can say that because that's actually in the podcast. It was part of the joke. So I'm not dissing Dargaville at all. Dargaville is actually a very nice place. I do enjoy visiting there. It's lovely. Producer Andrew, your thoughts on Dargaville, if you please.
Are you sure?
Well, that's enough from Producer Andrew today, folks. No, Dargaville gets such a bad rap, but if you look at Dargaville as a whole, they, not as a H-O-L-E, as a W-H-O-L-E, take all the good things of Dargaville, because they don't have any fast food outlets. It's very much a wonderful small town.
Yeah. Definitely tight-knit community as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone knows everyone. My partner's from out those ways, so
yeah.
I kind of know how the town operates and functions. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have a disdain for it because we could never really win rugby out there. Once again, rugby, but
of course, Producer Andrew.
Yeah.
Rugby.
So yeah, I also suffered a pretty bad injury out there off kickoff. So
that's true.
A lot of trauma.
Yeah, a lot of Dargaville trauma. Look, I came a cropper off a scooter in Dargaville and face planted.
A scooter?
Yeah, like a little kid's scooter. Off Dargaville on the little concrete skate park they've got there.
Oh, next to the RSA?
Next to the pool.
Next to the pool. Oh, really?
Pool. Yeah, I came.
Must have been recent.
It'd be like 4 years ago now. Sustained a concussion.
You know what I just want to bring up something about that skate park.
Yes.
And it really frustrates me, being like a fan of street art.
Yes.
For me, a skate park is a place for street art.
Okay.
And that skate park continually gets buffed, which is what they call painting over street art.
I feel like this is going to be a hot take.
Well, I mean, where do you want it?
What, the hot take or the street art?
No, the street art. You look at Whangarei skate parks.
Oh yeah,
they're
street art
outlet
everywhere.
for expression for artists that are on that fringe.
Yep.
And in Dargaville, they buff it. It's just a bland grey, kind of Soviet looking. You know what I mean? Like, it's just very plain.
So extreme calling it Soviet.
I know, but that's kind of what that grayscale kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, I can see your point. I can see your point, and that, you know what? To be fair, it makes some sense.
Yeah, like they haven't even commissioned anyone to do art on it. I just feel like that's a blank canvas, and they just continually keep it a blank canvas. So,
well, you know what? Maybe we should get in touch with Joshua Menhere.
Yeah, they need like a graffiti comp on that skate park.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Come on.
There you go, Dargable. Producer Andrew and I just throwing ideas at you left,
Look
right,
at
and
that.
centre.
Carpenter Council.
You get that for free. You get that for free on the podcast.
First one's free.
First one's free. But there you go. Those are the sorts of amazing things. And before I quickly talk about where you can find us on social media, I'm just going to say one thing. Go the Crusaders. So you can find...
I'm just cutting out Mark's mic there for that blatant propaganda, but there we go.
It's gold. I should have never have given the editors or producers access to a microphone. No, it's good. It's all fun and games. It's gold. So where can you guys find our podcast? And if you're watching or listening to it, thank you very much for checking us out. If you found us through a link on Facebook or Instagram, brilliant. I'm just going to fill in a few more details for you guys so you know where to find us. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artist Conversation. That's for the video side of things. For the audio side of things, we are on the big three platforms. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Again, Northland Artists Conversation. We try and keep things simple. And if you're an artist or you know of someone that would be super cool to come in, sit down, have a chat, man, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to be doing video conference calls, conference podcasts soon as well. So we're really, really looking forward to doing that. That will be amazing. But if you want to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear from you. Our email address is hello@northlandartistconversation.co.nz. Nice and simple. Now we've also got a Patreon page as well, and Patreon is for where people can go if they want to support the podcast a little bit more. If you're on Facebook and you throw us a thumbs up or you follow us, we appreciate it. If you find us on YouTube and you subscribe and leave a comment or throw a thumbs up, we really appreciate that. And on Apple Podcasts, I think you can leave a review as well. So all of those things are really cool. But Patreon is where you can go if you want to financially support us a little bit. We have 2 tiers on Patreon. The first one is called Cup of Coffee. That's $5 a month. And that's just a way of saying, hey, we really appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep it up. Thank you very much. And then the second tier we have is called Coffee Addict. That's $20 a month. That gives you a few little extras that you don't normally get. You don't get in the $5 tier. You just get in the $20 tier. You get a shout out. You get to know in advance who's going to be coming on the podcast. And if you've got a question you'd like me to ask a guest, you just simply get in touch with me through that. That's for the Coffee Addict $20 tier. So we do have some patrons that I am going to give a shout out to really quick. I'm going to shout out Lauren Roach. I'm going to shout out to Michael Boda. I'm going to shout out to Maggie Coco and Jenny Purchase. Guys and gals, thank you so much for your amazing sponsorship, patronage of Northland Artist Conversation. It really does mean a lot to us. So if you would like to become a patron as well, where can you go? Well, there's 2 ways. First, you can go to Google and type in Patreon. That's Patreon. Top right-hand corner, create an account, sign in, do all those good details, and then type in Northland Artist Conversation and we'll pop up, pick your tier, and then go from there. The second way you can do it, super easy, super easy. You go to www.patreon.com/Northland Artist Conversation. Our page will appear, sign up, create an account, go from there. Happy days. We would love to have you on board. It's been nearly 18 months we've been doing this, and it's been an absolute blast. We've got some cool things planned for next year, so make sure you stick around. I'm going to flick to my wide camera now. So it's we've had Guy Fawkes now. That's been and gone. I was in Auckland when that happened, but from all accounts, it actually sounded pretty amazing. And I do have to say, down at the stadium, it definitely, it's always a big spectacle. It's a big event, and it always looks amazing. So I know that this year would have been great as well. The sun is out. Man, definitely feels like summer's starting to roll around, getting some of those warmer nights, which I do enjoy. I stood outside today and actually had my lunch outside. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It was a really good day. So yeah, appreciating the small things. You know, fingers crossed we actually get a summer this year, unlike the start of the year. I'm pretty sure we will. And I know it'll be great. Love Northland. Go the beaches. Go Marapuri. Go Ahipara. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, enough of my rambling on that high note. My name is Mark Kelly. On behalf of the Northland Artist Conversation team, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys real soon.